Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Tuesday, November 6, 2018. In the United States, it's Election Day, an interesting and important election. In both the Lynn Life and the Jamie Body Mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already living by the many Search for Truth rules given to the Search for Truth community by wiser minds above all of us. And those rules include participating in the searches for truth, participating in attempting to discern what's actually going on. For some reason, wiser minds above would like for us to employ the Life-Between-Lives techniques. They've been suggesting this for a couple of weeks now, and we've not been responding, and for that we apologize. We just didn't understand that they meant do it now. And they sent a signal yesterday that made it clear they mean do it now, so we're doing it now. And this is really crucial, friends. There's so many moments in life when we think, surely that isn't really what I'm supposed to do, or maybe I'm supposed to do it eventually. And it really is hard for us to conceptualize that the instruction is for us to do it now, exactly now, this now moment. And so we delay doing what we're supposed to be doing, and the procrastination energy is really toxic to our souls and our lives. And when we notice ourselves not feeling great, it's important to consider, well, what is it that I know I'm supposed to do eventually, and then to do it now, and do the scariest things on our to-do list first. Procrastination is really a killer of the soul. It really is.
That's true.
So we have this instruction to employ the Life-Between-Lives techniques, and we have a willing participant who has some symptoms. And in the search for truth, we're supposed to use the symptoms of lives to detangle messages about the larger patterns. So in this life we have some patterns, and some of the patterns are behavioral and some of the patterns are physical. And there's a physical pattern of sore throats that develop during the overnight and then resolve themselves usually by 10 a.m., sometimes by 8 a.m., and sometimes not till noon. But the sore throat develops in the overnight when the physical body is sleeping, and then when the physical body awakens and presumably begins to engage in all the many different energy clearing techniques that we are trained in and that we employ, the sore throat goes away. Have I described this properly?
Yes, very well.
And that this is a pattern. This has been occurring for possibly 6 months, maybe?
Maybe.
And in addition, there are patterns of behavior that the Jamie Collective would like to be free of. And she describes these as patterns of dodging responsibility, and patterns of ingratitude,
That's true.
patterns of selfishness,
That's true.
and patterns of a lack of integrity. And it's fascinating because in the big work, these are the patterns that we see over all dimensions and all sentiences within the contaminated zone. And we see these patterns as, so far, the main patterns, the biggest problems. We have not found problems that are larger than selfishness, ingratitude, dodging responsibility, and lack of integrity. Those are the big problems.
That's true.
And so how wonderful that we have a willing volunteer asking for help in healing those problems. And we invite all of us to share in this healing, because we all have this. It's in all of us. It's in every I, every me, every us, every we. These are universally held patterns, no matter in which dimension we find ourselves right now. We've all got it. So this is a beautiful opportunity for all of us. And with that, the formally videoed portions of today's efforts begin. Very good. Notice those stairs in the distance, the very safe, very beautiful, very well lit stairs. Do you notice those stairs?
Yes.
These are the stairs that are numbered with the years of your life, with this top one being numbered 27, and the one beneath it 26, and so on. If you haven't already, go ahead and move over toward the top of those stairs and just pause at the top of the stairs. Now, whenever you're ready, we're going to move down these stairs together. With every stair we pass, you'll be another year younger and twice as deeply relaxed. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Now notice the door at the bottom of the stairs. On the other side of this door, there's a peaceful, happy time from a life that you've lived before. And it's the life that has everything to do with these patterns of dodging responsibility, ingratitude, selfishness, lack of integrity, and sore throats. Does this make sense?
Yes.
And in a moment, when you're ready, I'll count from 5 down to 1. And as we do that, the door will open. We'll move through the door and into the experience. Now, you don't need to do anything to make this happen. We simply show up and allow it to happen. Does this make sense?
Yes.
5, the door is opening. 4, moving through the door and into the experience. 3, feeling the moment unfolding itself around you, wrapping itself around you. 2, noticing your feet, very present in the moment. Feel your feet pulling you into the experience and drawing you into the experience. And 1, easily and effortlessly, you are there. First impressions now, very first impressions. Are you inside or outside?
I think I'm outside.
Outside. Is it day or night?
I think it's night.
Night. Are you alone or with someone?
I think I'm alone, although I think I was just with someone.
Yes, and were you with one person or more?
No, I think I was with a crowd, a group,
Yes.
and I was inside
Yes.
with them, and then I came outside alone.
Yes. And how are you feeling? Happy, sad, or some other way?
Not happy. I think I feel disturbed.
Disturbed. What was going on inside?
Well, it feels like we were having some kind of meeting.
Yes.
It might have been a political meeting, and it didn't go well by however I'm defining what it would mean for it to have gone well.
Yes.
And maybe I felt like I was about to lose my temper or say something I was going to regret, and so I thought it's better if I go outside and I take some deep breaths and I walk around a little bit, and then maybe I can come back inside. Or I don't think I'm going to go home. I think I'm going to go back inside. And also because I feel like if I go home, that meeting is going to go in a much worse direction. So as unpleasant as it might be for me to continue being in that meeting, it's probably better for me to get a grip and go back in, because otherwise there's not going to be anybody in there who has a focus on maybe what I think is the right thing.
Yes. And roughly how old do you seem to be?
Oh, maybe 30 or 35.
30 or 35, male or female?
I think a male.
And roughly what part of the world is this? North America or someplace else?
It might be Northern Europe.
Yes.
Maybe somewhere in the UK or Scotland,
Yes.
if I'm guessing.
Yes.
And it's kind of cold but not winter.
Yes.
It might be spring.
Yes, maybe spring.
Maybe spring.
And roughly what time frame is it?
We don't seem to have electricity. I would guess somewhere in the 1730s to 1780s.
Yes. Yes. Very good. And how are you feeling outside? Are you calming down?
I'm starting to calm down, and it's a very clear night. It's definitely night, and there are stars.
Yeah.
And it's quiet out here. It's kind of the field outside the pub or restaurant where we're meeting. It doesn't feel like somebody's house. It feels like a public place.
Mm-hmm. Like a tavern, maybe?
Like a tavern.
Mm-hmm. And roughly how big is the group inside?
It might be only 15 people in number, but to me it feels like everybody's there, or everyone who matters is there. It might be more like we're a group that's been planning, and this isn't necessarily what it is, but like been planning an uprising or planning some kind of action.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like we came together with common purpose or common intent, and that this isn't the first meeting like this we've had.
No.
It feels like we've had a number of these meetings.
Yes. But there are factions inside the faction, is that it?
Yeah, there are.
Yes.
And I'm worried first that other people have kind of their own agendas that aren't based on the needs of the group.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also worry that maybe I'm acting on my own agenda, not based on the need of the group, and I'm fooling myself into thinking that I'm basing my actions on the needs of the group, because I can see how those people don't think they're being selfish, and they are.
Right.
And I'm not a fool, and so I think it's very possible I'm doing the same thing.
Right.
And so I don't want to lose my temper or be inappropriate or burn bridges.
Mm-hmm. And has anybody else in the group gotten upset and burned bridges?
Yeah, it feels like there's been more than one who, like banged on the table and called people names and stomped out into the night, and I don't want to be that person.
Okay.
So I very quietly excused myself and stepped outside. Now I'm
calming
breathing,
down.
and I hear what sounds like sheep making little sleepy noises in the pasture, and it's very calming.
Let's go ahead and move to the moment that you feel ready to go back inside.
Okay.
Now, whenever you're ready, let's just go ahead inside when you're ready.
What this feeling could be is that there was raucous conversation, and then when we came back inside, it got abruptly quiet.
Yeah.
And they're turning to look at us, and now I have the very uneasy feeling that something's been decided that's not good for me or for
what you believe
what I believe in. Because now they're all uneasily looking at my friend like he's supposed to tell me something I don't want to hear or I'm going to take badly.
And look at your friend. What is he doing?
He looks like he'd rather jump out the window than talk to me. But he's saying something. My name might be something like Conan or something like that. Saying, I don't know the details of what he's saying, but it's definitely not good for me and my loved ones.
And is it good for everybody else at the table?
I really don't think so. It could be that they're wanting to fight somebody or take some kind of violent action.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been saying, listen, this is a really bad idea. We're outnumbered. They have more resources than we have. This is going to go badly for us and probably not achieve the goals that we came together to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And now it sounds like our friend is saying something like, well, Conan, we're going to go ahead and
do it anyway.
And if you don't join us, then you're
no
out.
friend of ours.
Right, and any good things we get from the action or the revolution or the uprising, you're not going to get any. We're going to leave you out of it.
Well, now what happens?
I'm really trying to take some deep breaths now, and they're all kind of quiet. I'm waiting for how I'm going to respond. Because the way I see it, and I might even be saying this out loud to the group, the way I see it is I've been presented with two options, and one is to take actions that I don't think are the right actions on the off chance that I'm wrong and good will come of it and then good things will happen for my family. Or I cannot participate in those actions, and if good things happen then it's bad for my family, and if bad things happen I also feel guilty because I wasn't there to help. And for each one of you that dies in that effort, I will carry that weight either way. Either way, I'm going to carry the weight when you die. And so I'm disappointed that this is the direction we seem to be heading in.
And what do they say?
I think they were hoping that we were going to be angry about it.
So that it would be easy to sever the relationship?
Right. But I don't think we're acting angry. We're kind of just trying to work it out. Maybe they're wrapping up the meeting or saying something like, well, now that's been decided, so
onward to the next action step.
Let's all go home and, next time we meet we'll
move forward
with this. They all seem very disturbed now.
Disturbed by your speech?
I think so. Maybe some of them were hoping we were going to say something that would definitively prove it was a bad idea to do whatever that action is, uprising or whatever it is.
Okay, well, let's just advance to the midst of the action. Let's do that. Move to the midst of the action. 5, 4, 3.